Alright, so when we left off, you guys were perusing the armory for whatever that they would be willing to give, plus any of the regular mundane stuff that you needed to restock or change your appearance slightly. Waiting for that 2 p.m. departure on the Dawn's Light. It was early in the morning when you left for the armory, making it just an hour or two perusing the armory. You still have a couple of hours to kill to make your way to the before you have to make your way to the docks. Was there any last minute anything that anybody wanted to inquire about as far as what the armory had before you leave it?
I would just want to double check with Fane. Say, you're really good at making yourself look different. Do I look different enough in this? Steinrath definitely knows what we look like, so I'm sure he hasn't kept that information to himself.
We do have Lily, right?
Yeah, I'm here. I was trying to remember why we changed our appearance or when we did that. Sorry.
Oh, they just mentioned that it would be a good idea to make ourselves look different in case anybody had seen us at the camp.
Okay. And so did you change something?
I got new armor. It's a little fancier than my old stuff.
Well, I know TX likes makeup. You might want to try some of that before we head out.
TX is already at the docks fishing.
Fishing?
He's fishing.
You went off by yourself?
Duh.
We're in town, hanging out, waiting for our boat ride. Why not have a little peaceful time before the chaos, right?
Yeah, TX has been up all night. He's kind of just there's bait at the end of his rod, but he's barely paying attention.
Yep. He is definitely weary after only a few hours of sleep the previous night. Just barely enough to count as a long rest, and it was in the middle of the rain leaning against a horse. So it wasn't good rest at that. And staying up all night. You are nearing the dangers of exhaustion.
Yep.
Okay, well maybe I'll ask him about that when we get closer to Baldur's Gate.
Sounds like a plan.
So I guess I'm done there.
And I decided to go shopping. You are in a large town.
Alright, what would you like to look for?
A magical ring.
Just chance by a vendor selling a magical ring?
Oh, ask around, you know. Ask where I could find one and purchase one. I'm sure there's vendors that sell magic items.
They're relatively rare commodity, and although this is a trade hub along the river, it's not something that people are just openly selling as a vendor. They'd be something more like a closed auction or something of the like for magical goods.
Not one specialty.
They're just not that. They're just not that common. Maybe except in even some of the biggest of cities, there might be a shop that showcases specifically magical arms.
Oakley dokley.
If you try hard enough, I'm sure there's many people willing to sell you a magical ring. It's just a matter of whether or not that's legitimate by any means. sure there's a few people in alleyways with cloaks selling Rolexes.
Yeah, but depends what you determine legitimate. I mean, legitimate sale. I bought, they sold. Legitimate. Well, I guess I'll go to the local tavern there and put my bounty hunter skills to work.
Okay. Are you looking for a particular person, or
I'm
what, are
looking
you just
for
trying to get some action?
information on where I could find such rings of magical value.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation. And stop in at the tavern, and are you particularly trying to make it directly to the one back to the pair of black antlers, the one with that Anthar was at, or
Yes, that one. It was highly frequented, and people there seemed like they had money to spend.
okay? There's different crews in the morning than there was in the previous evening. It's very likely multiple shifts. It's as opposed to like the more family-run tavern. This is a enterprising business, and you run across they have very low staff in the morning, being that it is a tavern. Are you looking to talk to someone that works there or someone that is a patron?
I've an employee. They hear more things.
There's a pretty stocky dwarf that is manning the bar, and there's a couple of various raced servers that moving about serving the few patrons that are out, mostly in the way of meals more than drink at this hour.
I'd like to talk to the dwarf. Dwarves are known for their keen eye for shiny things in metal.
Alright, so you approach the bar and kind of hail the dwarf over. What can I do for you?
Oh, this is awesome. Irish dwarf. I'm looking to purchase a ring of magical quality. Would you happen to know where I would be able to purchase such a ring within this fine town?
'Tis be a rare thing you're looking for.
Well,
Most of those things are dealings in behind the closed doors.
being such a stout, wise man and busy man you are, I figured you'd hear things or know things you'd be willing to share.
For a right amount of gold, anything is possible.
Could you say 20 gold to line your pockets? For a few whispers?
Roll persuasion. I feel that line it's pretty good. 20 gold pieces. Makes a nice coating, I think.
Well then, with the delivering of information, we shall have a deal. I set the 20 gold on the counter and asked for a beer.
Didn't realize you're at the ale and jewelry store.
He's at the
Yeah.
ale and information store.
Yeah. Well, you mean if you're handing over cash, you might as well have a transaction going on, right? Legitimate transaction. Just really expensive beer.
Kind of dart his eyes left and right as he slowly kind of counts out the coins, puts them into one of his pockets. Oh, and that'll be a silver piece for the beer.
No problem. I I flipped the silver coin off my thumb into his palms.
He's gonna kind of motion you down. I hear they be selling something of that. Maybe in the evening time. Over near the harbor district. I checked
Huh.
the warehouse. They're supposed to have a meeting.
I might have to head over earlier because I'm due to leave sooner than this evening. See if I can find someone wandering about.
I checked warehouse number 3.
Much appreciated. Your name will be unknown in this conversation. And I just chug my beer and walk out.
Okay. If we remember, this city is set up like a big T, all encased in a circular wall. Both the armory as well as the pair of black antlers is in the complete north side up on the long bar of the T across the top, and then towards the east. The harbor is actually underneath the bridge that you guys came across to enter the town itself. And so the bridge comes up and over, and then they're on the underside of the actual city itself. Remember, the city is raised up higher than all of the surroundings, something that was by artificial means. And then there is a large tunnel slash entryway kind of carved out underneath where the bridge would be. So off to the side of that southern gate is actually an entryway that leads down along a long ramp into the harbor, into the actual harbor, which is most of the warehouse and stuff is all underground, leading up to the actual dock itself that runs underneath the bridge. Or the docks, I should say.
Right. Now, is the gate, like, you could say manned, or is it just an open gate? You just stroll on in and
To the
find who
outside,
you're looking for?
one thing you notice when you came in is that it was barred for the night, and you had to get special entry. And through the day, the southern gate still remains closed, but the east and west gate do remain open and manned.
Okay. Would the manned gates be more like sentries or just like businessmen for the storehouses?
It's definitely a bit of both, depending on like the gate up top is mostly all just like a kind of like a little mini barracks, um, and 2 towers on either
Okay.
side of the big gate, and underneath there is connected buildings that house like barracks on either side. And then the down towards the dock district, it is where there would be more merchants. On the east and west main gates to the city, where the tradeway by road comes through, there's definitely a mix of both of those types. The southern gate seems to be closed except for the occasional local traffic that goes in and out, or there's very little that comes south because there's no roads that lead south. Just another major entryway for one reason or another.
I'll try to go through the southern gate.
Back out across the bridge.
Yep.
Now look, as I was describing, the docks, the dock district, and all that stuff is underneath the bridge on the city side.
Oh, okay. I'm getting confused then. Never mind.
Yeah, so like there's nothing on the, I mean, there is literally just open plains to the south that you just traveled across. All that to
Oh,
get
okay.
there. And then the bridge just connects up and over into the city, and the city is raised up above the surrounding area. And then underneath the bridge on the city side, it's all been dug out for warehouses and the docks and all of that kind of stuff. If that makes more sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and the entrance is all of that is on the inside of the city. That way, it's all protected.
Okay. I'll head to the nearest gate and try to talk my way into the warehouses. Looking for not a guard, but more of an overseer or a manager type individual.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few people when you get down into the actual dock area that are kind of spread about, supervising unloading and loading of craft along the way. The harbor holds as much as 6 vessels, and it's built such that the vessels can actually dock inside of what would be not out into the river itself, just pulling up adjacent to a dock, but they actually come into a harbor that's been manually crafted underneath. That is actually in the inside of the bank of what have been the big river, and it has slots for 6 huge trading vessels, and there are people loading and unloading ships. There are currently 4 ships docked at the harbor. There are you see everything from crates and casks and sacks being unloaded and loaded actively here in the middle of the morning. I guess likely due to the change in flow of the river and time, even though it's not exactly like the tides of the sea because of their own harbor. There's a couple of windows of time in which is better to leave and enter the harbor from, and they're all trying to get ready for that departure time, which is just afternoon.
Alrighty.
Yeah, there's 3 large human males that seem to be directing traffic along the western bank, and then there is a short, stocky dwarf that is directing traffic on the eastern side, and then in the middle, there's 2 empty slots, ship slots, on the eastern side.
I'm gonna roll an insight to see who would be more approachable based on looks.
On just their demeanor.
Yes.
The dwarf seems to be giving them quite a bit of a tongue lashing. It seems to be very gruff. 2 of the other humans are just more steady with the crew, and then one toes a line. They snap them back in, a little bit more disciplined. The other guy's a little not quite as sturdy of a looking gentleman as the other 2 humans. And he just seems to be kind of pointing and waving, and people are just flowing, and it's really hard to tell if anyone's paying attention to him or not. He's just making motions and things are happening.
Alright. I will approach the latter gentleman. The later gentleman there. And I'll approach him saying, "Hey, good sir. You look like a man of stout worthiness. I would be inquiring about Warehouse 3 if you could point me in the right direction.
Yes, Warehouse 3. Well, you see, it's quite simple, really. The first one there is Warehouse 1. The second one there is Warehouse 2. And you wouldn't believe it if I even told you, but that third one right there, that's Warehouse 3. And just kind of pulls back and gives a big shit-eating grin as he's kind of looking at you. There, helpful as I have been.
What if I counted from the other side?
You seem kind of visibly, confused. The other side? So, him kind of looking, tilts his head a little as he looks up, and he's kind of squinting one eye. The first one would be 5. Warehouse. The first one would be, yes, the first one on, if you went the other way, would be Warehouse 5. And then the second one would be...
I'm just kidding, man. Don't overthink it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just looking to purchase some special goods. I heard from a reliable source I might be able to get something I was looking for from Warehouse 3.
Well, we're unloading barley today. I have a feeling that's meant for drink in the long run. Some might call that quite special indeed. But our goods are going to a warehouse, and you see him kind of tilt his head and look up. And then he starts looking off at this. The warehouse from that way. Warehouse 4.
I just fucked that guy's day up.
Our goods are going to warehouse 4, not 3. No, we're not supposed to go to warehouse 3.
Well, I'll leave you about your business. And I will walk in the directions
As soon
of...
as you start to walk away, you can see him coming over. Samson, come here. Were we supposed to go to warehouse 3?
Of course.
I fucked that guy up royally trying to make him count backwards. That's awesome.
That guy over there said we're supposed to go to warehouse 3. You just see the other guy's just the biggest face palm ever. His head hung really low. And then just goes back over and picks up a crate and he starts continuing on with the rest of the people that are moving on down towards warehouse 4.
I picked the idiot. Good choice. I'm just gonna head and walk towards warehouse 3. Apparently he can't help me. Hopefully, I was hoping the more incompetent person would be the dumber one to take bribes. But, you know.
As you start approaching warehouse 3, you can see that there are, like, across these 5 major warehouses that are in front, all of the other 4 have huge double bay doors that are open, as well as a couple little side doors. For warehouse 3, the big double doors are closed. And there are guards standing at the small side entrance door.
Well, I will put about my bounty hunter air and approach these guards.
Alright, before we do, what is everybody else doing? I know where TX is at. Where's everyone else in the city today? As we're going about.
Is the ship already in the dock?
It is, yes.
Okay. I guess I'd just be talking with Leos and Onthar, just seeing what they're gonna be up to while we're headed to Baldur's Gate. And I'd like to go down and check out the ship. See what kind of ship it is, how big it is, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And I'm just wandering around the city looking for interesting people.
Okay. We'll see if we'll resolve that bit. I want to see. I was just saying if there was anybody else that was following Morn around, or if any of that was going on. Okay.
He does kind of need an adult.
No more news an adult. He's just a little more grim than the rest of you. He's a realist, all right.
Sour pragmatist with a sour disposition.
I guess TX and I would be the closest to him.
TX is not paying attention. Fuck,
Where's
he could have a
Karth at?
piece of string.
Suppose Karth is just kind of chilling in the city, just relaxing, not really going anywhere very quickly.
Yeah, just trying to soak in city for the next few hours before you get on a boat.
I'm surprised Rowan's not freaking the hell out being in like the biggest city she's ever been
Well, the docks are closer to the exit.
in.
Also, I've never been on a boat, so
Don't turn into a die or anything.
Could be an interesting constitutional check later.
Luckily, it's just a riverboat.
Okay. Alright, so you're going to approach the two guards that are sitting on either side of the smaller door. Is that what you were doing?
Yes.
Okay, so as you approach this, as the two guards, they got kind of standing there. One standing there with his arms crossed, with a sword on either side, attached to his belt, and the other guy is holding a large, double-bladed war axe. And that guy, as you approach up, is move along. None of your business here. Just keep on going.
I may have business here depending on the business I'm able to procure.
You see them kind of sidelong glance at each other as the guy that was outspoken before. Well, there ain't no business here unless you know there's business here.
I wouldn't be here if I knew there wasn't any business to be had.
Let's roll a persuasion.
And I'm gonna flash my fancy Zentarim coin also.
That the guy with the big double-bladed war axe is just saying it's just fixing to kind of go into the whole tirade about get the hell out of here, I'm gonna kill you kind of thing. And as he's like, oh, just as he starts to pipe up, the guy on the other side just raises his hand, puts it in front of his mouth, and just with a single finger gesturing the guy to be quiet. And the guy kind of looks at him all sly, kind of with one eye kind of scrunched, just kind of curiously giving him a very strange look. The other guy comes up. Are you on our business? He kind of leans down, whispers in your ear.
I'm always on our business, but this is for part of my business also.
We weren't expecting any new guests at today's event.
I wasn't expecting to be here either. Things of the moment, you know.
We're not set to conclude until the eve.
I don't have long. I'm just here to procure some extra information from whoever's around, and maybe some goods, if they are available, to further our cause.
I see him kind of lean back a little bit, kind of look one way or the other, and you see tuck his thumbs into the belt near right there next to his to either sword hilt. Ask it. What do you need to know?
I'm just looking for a ring of magical quality, maybe one with some sort of vision. For trade, that is. I expect nothing for free.
He's gonna lean down and this time be very quiet, whisper. What kind of vision?
Just a simple dark vision. Spell on a trinket or an amulet would suffice.
You see him kind of stretch back up, kind of look to each direction, and then just kind of move his head in a way he's motioning you towards the door. He turns and starts walking through it.
And I would follow him, but one hand on the belt next to my weapon, just in case.
Right before he goes in the door, he just kind of points at the ground right next at the large dude with the war axe, who just kind of almost stands at attention a little as he keeps vigilant watch. As you enter into the warehouse, it is very ominously low lit. It just feels like the atmosphere feels shady compared to, what you would expect on this bustling dock. Lots of crates and things are stacked up in such a way that it kind of creates an almost maze, as opposed to any kind of efficient handling of storage where things would be, either on the outer walls or, in aisles or anything that makes any kind of sense. This is more maze-like, as it's all built around, and he leads you around some twisted pathways. Towards the middle, after you've kind of gone for a couple of minutes around the different pathways, it just opens up in the middle, and there were definitely different turns, which you imagine are all dead ends.
All right.
And so as it opens up into the middle, there's a couple of people tending different wares on the inside. As soon as you kind of come into that, the guy leans over and says, "See the guy in the black robes in the back?
I do.
That's the guy."
Much appreciated, and I give him 2 silvers. The gratitude.
He's gonna look at you, kind of glaringly, and take the 2 silvers. Just gonna toss them on the floor, and then walk back through the pathways.
I'm gonna pick my
saying nothing.
I'm gonna pick my 2 silvers up. Fuck that guy. He's being nice. I'm going to approach the man in black. Oh god, Johnny Cash.
I would say, here's Johnny Cash.
Is he looking away, like attending his wares, or is he just like watching everyone else in the room?
He was kind of tending his wares, but when the other guy came in, he turned, and then when he starts seeing, like, he sees you approach, and his eyes are locked on you like this hawk, and just this very direct stare. You can see that his hands aren't near the weapons that he has at his side, but instead he has them interlocked one over the other, creating a small, like, sphere of air in his hands.
I walk towards him with my hands my palms open at my side, facing him, as like a gesture of good faith.
And who let you in?
I was allowed in by a doorman after validating my credentials, sir. And I ask if I may produce my credentials.
Very well.
I reach in my pocket and flash my coin and allow him to take a look at it.
He's gonna stay quite retracted from you, just kind of barely keeping his distance, but yet barely kind of leaning forward, looking at the coin from the distance. Very well. What do you want?
I'm looking to purchase a wares of magical quality, preferably a trinket or ring of some type of dark vision.
Dark vision.
Simple spell, I think.
He's holding, like he's still kind of posturing with that weird stance, and then after you presented your coin, he kind of relaxes a little. Instead of holding that strange spherical shape with his hands, he still keeps them close together, out in front of him, and as he kind of moves over. I have a couple of things that might fit your bill. Depends on how much you're willing to spend. What do you have to offer?
Well, I have a very nice spyglass, recently procured brand new. I'd be willing to trade, maybe for 600 gold worth of goods and some several gold pieces on my person, depending on the item.
You bring me a mundane spyglass to trade for magical wares?
It may be mundane, but it still has value.
What else do you have?
400 gold pieces to add to said deal.
I'm just kind of...
I can toss in some entertaining fire bombs. For your pleasure.
Fire bombs. Set one on the table.
Pull my backpack off my back slowly. Set it on the ground and produce a firebomb. And as I do so, I say, not of the greatest quality. But if you're just looking for fun, it will suffice.
Just set it down and you can just see him just kind of like guffaw. You're carrying around such crude implements that are dangerous? Are you an idiot?
Nope, I just sometimes decide maybe I want to use a firebomb and have some fun.
Maybe the firebomb wants to just use you as fun. You are quite
If that's
lucky
so,
to have survived to this point, carrying around such dangerous implements that volatilely crude, crafted terrible content.
But yes, it still could be used.
Oh, it has value. And how many of these things are you toting around back there?
4, 5, including the one on the table. Yes, very dangerous.
And you just see him, like his eyes are just wide open, his head's just kind of shaking back and forth. Alright, I'll tell you what I'll do. And only because you have the coin. Give me your gold. Give me your spyglass. Give me your firebomb things.
Let's call them death traps.
Yes, death traps. How appropriate. Here will be a... He starts reading around over in a bag that he's got off to the side. Pulls out an amulet. This amulet. Dark vision, you say? Yes. This will give you dark vision twice per day. And each time it lasts 10 minutes, 15. Still needs
You're
further
not-
test, but it works.
Perchance something more lasting.
For this,
I do have fire bombs on your table now.
and fire bombs, and that means something to me.
Very volatile fire bombs.
Dude, are you gonna need to roll an intimidation check or a intelligence check to not roll an intimidation check?
Roll your intimidation check.
Yeah, I'm very intimidating. Now he's just gonna guffaw at me.
You
Like a
hear
moron.
a large snapping command of a language that you do not know. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Where's all my good rolls? Damn it! Use them all up to get here.
You feel your muscles tighten and locking in place. You're completely paralyzed and unable to move.
Damn, that sucks. Can I still talk?
No. You cannot
Damn.
move any muscles at all. And the guy just walks up to you, puts his forefinger on right in between, in the middle of your forehead. You dare threaten what you do not know. I suggest you take your winnings, if you will, today, and leave without another moment's haste. And he turns and walks away. And after he makes about 4 steps, you can feel the paralysis leave you as you're now able to move. He sets the amulet down on the table and then sits staring at you flatly with that hawk-like stare.
Well, I'm gonna dust myself off a little bit, like brush off the whole situation.
Dignity
With my-
matters, right?
Yep. Get what I can, and I will pull out the spyglass and extend it for him, set it on the table, and drop my gold pieces on the table.
Okay. Then you're gonna grab the amulet.
Yes.
Okay, good.
And then I will thank him for the business because, come on, don't want to get shot in the back.
He's gonna
And
just
then
kind of nod his head curtly. He's not gonna say anything.
ask for an escort out.
He's just gonna shake his head no. Point. Back towards where you came in.
Okay. Well, I'm going to leave then.
Add to your inventory a amulet of dark vision that lasts, you have 2 charges per day that, that recharge on long rest. You'll have to attune it to you. It does require attunement.
Does that mean I just meditate on it or something?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. Cuddle up with it at night.
Yeah, you have to be in position and actively trying to attach it to yourself for 20 minutes or so, and then it will attune to you. You can have a maximum of 3 items that are attuned. Yeah, and it will recharge on your long rest, and they do last 15 minutes. Dark vision, 120 feet, 15 minutes. So it's a little bit better than the standard dark vision.
Holy fuck, 125?
120 feet.
Oh, 120 feet, sorry.
I think standard dark vision is 60 feet.
Yeah. Alright, I'll make my way out and I will just go hang out at the docks.
The last thing that I'll have you do is roll a wisdom survival roll to see if you can make your way back out. Survival.
I'm as lost as well, the guy outside directing traffic that I talked to.
Yeah, and you're starting to feel that way. 2 hours pass of you walking around, hitting dead end after dead end after dead end of these tunnels created by these pathways created by crates before you eventually come back out to the beginning, giving you only at this point a very short amount of time to make it to the ship.
Yay!
Alright, who else are we looking at here? Who else would like to resolve things before we get to...
I just wanted to ask Leosin and Anthar what they were going to be doing while we were on our way to Baldur's Gate, if we should expect that we can meet up with them later, or...
Ah, okay. Ultimately, just to expedite things a little bit, that conversation goes along the lines of Anthar is going to press political pressure, starting here, getting the paladins involved more in actually actively seeking out. They obviously have always been longtime enemies of the cult, but to kind of present evidence that has been recently acquired that you guys talked about, that Leosin has found, all of this stuff, to try to create some kind of active task force, if you will, that is more towards directly gathering forces, getting nations involved, trying to seek out headquarters and take them out, whatever they got to do. Basically building up a crusade. And then at the same time, Leosin, through his Harper connections, is going to do a lot of the same. He's going to travel around. He's going to take some. He's going to go back to Candlekeep, one of the great libraries. He's going to talk to the wizards there. He's going to get magical transportation to Waterdeep when it's all said and done. But that's his base of operations, and that's where he's going to go back and try to do similar, but through the Harper connection. Try to get individual spies, assistance in any way that they can from that line. But he will meet you in Waterdeep. That's the plan, at least, by the time you arrive.
Okay. And the crew of the Dawn's Light, are they friends, or is this just a merchant ship?
This is just a merchant ship.
Okay.
It
Good
is
to know.
It is. They are friends of the Gauntlet, though. I mean, as far as in general, they're not in on anything, though. They're just they're not directly tied with the Paladins, but they do a lot. They have a lot of the same beliefs and as far as merchants goes, which is why they chose them. Although they don't know anything about what's going on, they just know that they're giving you passage, and the Gauntlet's paying for it.
Okay, so we'll try to make sure that the stories stay to a minimum, at least.
And so they did have the two brothers, the half-elven brothers, and one thing that Leosin's going to say about them, because they're more his contacts than they are Onthar's.
Illisail and Illilate?
Yes.
Okay.
The Illithale and Illilate. What he's going to say is, while they are helping us to fulfill a debt, don't trust them. Mind your
good to know.
pockets and your throats. That's what he's going to tell you.
So if we were to disguise ourselves, we should do it before we meet the brothers.
He's going to kind of shrug and say that's kind of, like they are going to help us. They're honor bound to do so, but they're not they're not good people. They're not good people.
Okay, thanks for the warning.
As an aside, the description he gives is very almost lawful evil kind of people. And at this, Onthar is very, very uneasy about it. These are essentially a thieves' guild or an assassin's guild kind of representatives through the Harpers.
Okay, unless there's anything else that we should be aware of, I think I'm ready to go at least. I'll look around and see where everybody else is at.
Alright, so yeah, you head down to the docks. And let's see, Karth, Fane, anything that you guys want to resolve separate from what we've been...
Did I get a chance to send my letter?
You did, yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Otherwise, I would head to the thing, unless I found somebody who's really not minding their pockets, and I'd want to mind their pockets for them, of course, on my way to the dock.
Yeah, you're kind of stalking a couple of targets in open sight, and there's a couple of people that are kind of ripe for that particular thing. A couple that seem to be of the most destitute, so you don't feel like you would really have much to gain. But there is a particularly inattentive, rotund merchant that's just browsing wares that you'd find as a pretty prime target.
Excellent.
I'm going to roll stealth and sleight of hand, see how that goes. found. Okay, so this guy is. Where? So this very large gentleman is kind of perusing a food cart, and he's got a coin pouch just connected to the over the back right side of his hip, just sitting there. And as you walk by, you just very neatly slice the cord and whisk the pouch into your own pocket and continue walking. And he does not turn or seem to notice that you did.
Did he have anything in it? Okay.
Alright, so, Rowan, were you going to wait for Ontharr and Leosin to go down to the docks with you when you went down, or were you just going to break out and...
They said they'd show us down to the docks before, so yeah, I'd wait for them.
Okay. And then, Karth, what about you? Anything that you would like to do before we get to the dock?
No, I'm good. Just my vendor food and a beer.
Okay. Alright, so Ontharr and Leosin, like you've had your conversation with them, they do offer, you know, that if you'd like, everyone else has already left, would you like us to take you down there since you're kind of unaware? And, you know, as you agree, then they both kind of lead you down to the docks. As you kind of, get to approach that long, heavily trafficked road that moves north and south through the city. As you get closer to the actual big gate, they turn off onto another large side road that leads over to a long ramp that comes down underneath into the whole dock district area. And they point out that the ship is the third one on the west side of the harbor. So it's not the one that had Morn's idiot. The one opposite of that on the west half. TX is down there. He seems to be kind of actively trying to conceal his appearance, trying to look kind of hide in plain sight, trying to look kind of blend in the crowd. But you, in his attempts to do so, you spot him right away, and he's just sitting there, fishing, mostly nodding off, not really managing to actually disguise himself, despite his efforts to do so.
Hey, TX,
Uh-huh.
time to go.
Okay, but my name is Dave.
Okay, Dave, time to go.
Okay.
So at this point, everyone is now kind of gathered down at the docks, and it's right at departure time. The captain walks over, and this is really funny to me. It's actually Captain Ron, and if anyone knows why that's funny to me, it's really just funny. His name is actually Ron.
I'm guessing I see TX sort of half nodding off. I'm gonna cast the enhanceability bear's endurance on him.
Okay, yeah, and so now that we're hit the afternoon, we are now actually. It's probably about time for your Constitution check. As to see how exhausted you are.
Oh, I clicked. Wait,
No, it was
what?
with advantage because of her spell.
Oh, I was confused.
You were confused because you were exhausted. You are at level 1 of exhaustion, and now have disadvantage on all ability checks.
Howdy. So we're on the boat now?
We're out on the edge of the
Barely
dock.
conscious.
Yeah, like
Oh.
with the captain coming down and pointing out. You know, Ontharr and them are kind of meeting for that final farewell as you gather right there as you fix to get on the boat. Introduce the captain, and says, kind of talks him up. He's been a good friend of ours, and he'll see you safely. Just trying to make it off like it's a transactional thing, and that you're just important friends of his that are just trying to make it some way. And then he's going to kind of pull you all in on Thar with his huge frame. He's just going to take his arms and kind of wrap around you a little, all as he kind of pulls, not like in an embrace, but is just trying to usher you together close. He's going to bend down and, all right, you. Our hopes are on you. Do us proud out there.
We'll do our best.
Yes, you will. He's going to turn and walk away.
Is it a big boat?
It is a fairly large riverboat. And so it is, it's not like a big steamboat kind of riverboat, but it doesn't have the deep keel like a ocean-going vessel would have. But it is wider and a little more flat across the bottom, and it has 2 levels, and then the entire inner part of the deck up above. And so the 2 levels, there's the main deck, and then where the big sails come out of, and then towards the back part there's a large, like, second tier up that is all enclosed, that looks to be housing fancier quarters. And so Captain Rana's going to kind of escort you, kind of motion you guys on. I said, we're prepping to leave here just any minute. If you guys want to bring your things and come in and get settled. And I'm going to lead you back towards that upper part that's extended off the back, where those quarters are.
Fancy quarters?
For a boat. Not that you have
Oh,
a frame
yes.
of reference, but you've never
No.
been on a boat. It's almost like a, not the super cheapest tavern room, but it is, on the lower side of a tavern room. It's kind of small, but there is room for everyone, and the captain's quarters are in the far back. So there's like a small hallway with rooms on either side, and then the hallway ends in a big door, which is the captain's quarters.
First thing I'm going to do is be like, how long is this trip expected to be?
3 days by boat, unless we run at night. We're not too keen on doing that, just because of the dangers of navigating a river.
Okay, partway through saying that, you heard the 3 days, he's going to be like, great, and he's going to run off to the quarters.
What happens at night? Do we land or?
Just anchor off the side, typically.
Okay.
It's a pretty heavy trafficked area, and so some crazy person wants to come barreling down to the middle of the night. We don't want to be out in the middle. Somebody crash into us because they can't see.
Right.
Okay, TX is already asleep.
All right.
I'm gonna go get me in my bunk. Start fiddling with my amulet. Because apparently I got lost for fucking 2 hours in the warehouse.
Yeah. It's a pretty nasty maze there. Really
Don't know
wasn't.
why I just climbed to the top and walk on top.
Just weren't paying. Yeah, you just weren't paying too attention. Well, there. One of the instructions you really couldn't. The crates do reach nearly the ceiling in the warehouse.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go and meditate with this amulet there and work this out, and then at nightfall I'm gonna kind of pull a long enough shift, like my own personal guard shift when we anchor,
Okay.
and just long enough to get my long rest.
And I'm gonna investigate the boat, see if there's any fun things on the boat.
Down underneath, there are 2 levels. Underneath is the very bottom level is crew quarters, which is anyone been on boats before? Like their characters taking boat rides before?
TX definitely would have.
Yeah, it's actually backwards to the normal way to do it. Typically, the bottom, the lowest tier is for storage, and then the next tier up is for crew quarters. Mostly as a safety concern, because if the boat gets a leak, it doesn't leak directly into the crew quarters, and they drown all first. But in this boat, it's upside down for some reason. The crew quarters are on the bottom, storage is on the next tier up, and then down in the crew quarters, they have that's where the galley is, as well as like a kind of a big common room. And the crew quarters themselves is just a partitioned room that has just hammocks and cots and things all in it. It's not like individual rooms that all the crew is in, so much as it is just a big room that they all sleep in. And then out in front of that, one side is the galley, and the other side is just a big open room that has like an eating table, and they have down there they would dice and play cards, and they have a dartboard and a couple things like that. But generally,
I want to join the card game.
yeah, that'd be something that they would be doing once they anchor away for the night, something like that. Most of the time, all the crew's hands on deck. The crew it consists of the captain and 1 other officer, and then 8 crew members.
Okay.
I'd take a quick tour of the ship just to kind of get my bearings, meet some of the crew, and then I'm gonna find an out-of-the-way spot on the deck, maybe near a railing, just in case.
So those of you that have traveled on boats before, used to the motion, it's not like traveling out on the ocean, so there's not nearly as much rolling as there is on a riverboat, but there is motion. Are you guys all good with that? Those that have been on the boats before, has that been motion sick from that, seasick, so to speak? Is that something you have to worry about?
Not TX wouldn't care. It might actually lull him to sleep more. Like a cradle.
Warren's used to traveling all the time. Just about every means. Just about every means.
Fane has also traveled many different ways, so.
What about Karth? How's your constitution on a boat?
It's fine. I wouldn't say I've been on boats a lot, but I've been on a few.
Alright, Rowan, this is your first time on a boat, so let's see how it goes. Go ahead and just do a straight up constitution check for me.
Nope, not good.
Nope.
Poor Rowan.
Oh, I didn't. You have some great green makeup on.
You were doing quite well when you first got on, and then when the tide, when their makeshift tide, they actually almost artificially create it using a what is it called? A lock and dam system. It's very similar to the way the Panama Canal works. Is they fill in one side of the harbor with excess
locks,
water,
yeah.
and then with the locks, and then they release the locks into the harbor, which then increases the water level in the harbor, and then causes it to flow back out into the river. And that's how they actually get the makeshift, even though there's no tides on the river. That's how they get it. The makeshift. That's how they actually push them out, because there's no wind in there either. It's not like they can just sail out of there like that. And so that's why only on certain times of the day can people actually leave when they use the locks to push them out. And once the ship kind of rolled out the first time, everyone was all good, and it started going down the river. You make your way, good hour into it. You've kind of looked around, and at that point, just the monotony of the rocking, even though it is fairly gentle, that just completely overwhelms you, and you're forced to guard the railing on very intent watch.
Ugh. Hello, fish.
All right, so we have 3 days of travel by boat, with some potential card playing and fun to be had in the meantime. Let's see if we can expedite that a little bit. Let's see if we're going to have any kind of issues.
Cthulhu rises from the deeps.
That's a crazy river, man.
And before I go to sleep every night, I'll be applying dark vision.
Before you go to sleep?
Or I mean, before I do my guard, my own personal guard thing.
Oh, okay.
After we anchor.
Yeah. At the completion of your long rest, it's when it will recharge. Yeah, and so you could get half an hour of your thing in, of your watch in actual dark, the 120-foot dark vision. Alright, what was our generic watch order? It was... It's just when I go to roll to see if we have any random funsies along the way.
Usually I go first if I have any wild shapes left.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I go last.
I go in the middle.
But I'm going... I don't think anyone else is pulling guard, so I'm just gonna do, just enough guard to get my long rest in.
And so as you spend your time traveling across this way, are y'all gonna just, like during the day, most of the crew's all busy, so you could just do whatever. And at night, the crew takes only a couple are on at a time as they rotate through, just keeping an eye out or whatever while the others rest. What are you guys going to do during that?
I'd be kind of fresh as a daisy during the nighttime, actually, because I'm kind of screwed up right now.
Yeah, your sleep schedule is a little upside down.
Mm-hmm. But I'd be fishing.
Fishing? Okay.
That's me taking a watch.
I think I would actually be up at night to play cards with the crew members and then sleep the wee mornings to the maybe noon.
Okay.
I suppose I'd be asking the crew if they have any remedies for seasickness.
It's called keep your head overboard.
Most of them are just going to find your situation rather humorous and
I figured so.
take the time to poke a few jabs at you for it. But
Marn would be okay with jabbing her in the chin and knocking her out. So, well, she can't be seasick if she's knocked out, right? Right?
That would not go in your favor.
no, that's probably not for the
Eh.
best. The although they do, poke a couple jabs at you in good fun, they are essentially both cargo and transport ship, so they're not completely unaware of people in your particular situation, and do offer you a particular herbal tea, which does settle your stomach, so that you're not spending the entirety of the trip in misery. Although you do, you're not in complete misery anyway. Although you can definitely feel that there's that pressure there in your stomach, even from the movement. It just doesn't cause that violent reaction after drinking the tea.
Well, that's good.
So
What's in the tea? Can I, for herbalism reasons, I'm curious. I would ask them.
Yeah, they actually impart that knowledge over to you. You can add it to your notes of things that you know about. I don't actually know the name of the herbs offhand, but we can.
Yeah, that's okay.
But we can.
Oh, speaking of herbalism, can I use some of the herbs that I found to make something?
Yes, you have found a handful. They have a couple of common applications that would be wisdom based, or you could try to engineer an application. I wonder if this would be like a, something outside of just general practice, with something more based in intelligence for your herbalism kit. There are definitely a few, things from making poultices to things that ease headaches to, minor pain relief to, things like that you could, just basic knowledge of herbalism kit and experience that everybody kind of knows about. You could make some stuff like that, or you could do something a little more on the lines of defeating particular poisons, or something with a little more healing property, non-magical healing properties. But that would be a different kind of check.
Yeah, I was wondering about healing and antivenom, basically.
Trying to replicate like some healing potions or something of the like.
Yeah.
And you still have a few empty vials from healing potions you've been keeping? I think that was something we talked about.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thrown those away.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an intelligence-based herbalism kit roll.
Also not good.
Now you take out your current healing potion, and between smelling it and kind of testing it and running it through different things, none of you consume 10 gold pieces worth of herbs trying to experiment, and you have not yet been able to find out exactly what makes this work. You have not yet been able to replicate that effect or anything like it, and deem that what you have made has no use. As time moves on, you're welcome to continue to experiment, and once you discover it, it'd be something that you could then recreate based on just having the materials and the time to make it.
Okay. Would that be like one night of experimentation or the 3 days?
That'd be one. I'd say that's one.
Okay, I'll take another stab at it the next night then.
Okay. How many gold pieces worth of herbs do we have that you have collected this far?
Just 10 gold pieces worth left.
10 left. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Each experimentation is going to take about 10 gold pieces worth of herbs.
Okay.
All right. So you guys travel. Throughout the day, most of the crew are working. When you kind of take the rest for the evening, Fane, you strike up some cards. They got dice and cards. Cards specifically what you're looking at.
Yes.
They are heavily intent on putting money on the game. Is that something you're interested in?
Yep.
All right. It's not high stakes, so they want for the first night. It's just a 1 gold ante.
Okay.
And you're proficient with the cards, right? Is that one of the gaming sets that you're proficient with?
Yes, I just don't. Yes, and I have my own deck of cards actually too.
You're gonna lose so much money against Red.
That's okay.
Hey, just because Baron's
That's
bad at
just-
dice.
Baron barely knew what dice were.
Hey, he was scary enough to get some of his money back.
All right, so 5 crew members plus you, and then. Okay, so TX, the thing you just told me, are you? Is that known or unknown?
Unknown currently.
Okay. And one of them, yeah, one of them is willing to do that. All right, you're proficient with that, so just roll just a standard D20 plus your proficiency modifier. Just do that for now, I think.
I'm not exactly sure.
Are you trying to
I'm just trying to break even. I'm just playing for fun.
Okay, so my
At this
main question is, I guess, are you playing fairly?
To be intelligence, probably. Yeah. Dex if you're cheating, intelligence if you're not. Probably.
Yeah, are you playing fairly or not fairly?
It would probably depend on how the games go. As the night goes on, it'll probably be less unfairly.
Less unfairly. So more fairly. You're gonna start off.
Yeah, I'll start off honest and then get dishonest.
Oh, okay. As they go, if things go against your favor.
Yeah.
I think, or wisdom would also be, if you play a lot, you're proficient, then it's not so much about garnering knowledge as it is about playing from experience. Yeah, I'll let you choose for your honesty if you want to. I don't know if we made a skill for that or not.
I didn't make a skill for that.
No, we could do that though. Make one for your cards based on dex, and one for your cards based on int or wisdom. That's up to your choice when you're playing fairly. If you want to play with, by calculation means, that'd be intelligence, or if you want to play through experience, that would be wisdom mean. And for you, I think your wisdom's slightly higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, added those.
Okay, and so start off. Let's
Do those get a star because I'm proficient at them?
Yes.
Yep. All that seems good. Okay, let's go ahead and do wisdom for your cards. Early in the games, this circle of people seem to know each other quite well, and they're not working together by any means, but their knowledge of each other makes it such that early in the night, you begin losing a little more than you win on the first few hands. So then you're going to start switching over towards dex. So are you going to try to, let's do both dex and, let's go ahead and do stealth and dex.
Do a stealth and then a dex cards?
Yes, stealth and then a dex cards.
Really good at slipping those twos instead of your aces.
Shh.
Let's go ahead and, because of your stealth, let's make that with advantage. I think that makes sense. I was just trying to figure out how to work out these mechanics ahead of time.
Roll a dex with advantage?
No, just do
Roll
one more of the dex cards, and then we'll just use it. We'll only take the one that's the better of the two. Okay. Well, there's that. Yeah.
First not so good.
So the first night, yeah, you wind up losing out on your gold coin.
Okay, how much did I lose?
Just the one gold. They just all put in gold. That usually a gold worth. So they got a bunch of silvers and coppers, and they're just playing for small bits of money. And then at the end, whoever wins it all, just whoever has money left when it's over, just whatever you got left, you just take. But you went out pretty quickly that first night.
Okay. But they didn't know I was trying to be better.
Correct. Okay. Alright, now's our time to see what happens. Alright, everyone, when your shift to take guard takes place, let's go ahead and get your perceptions down the row.
Wow.
I'm too sad about losing.
Aw.
Can't focus on anything else.
I might be able to have the actual perception to feel a fish on my line. Whee!
You do manage to catch a small handful of fish. Let's say like 4 or 5.
Oh, I'd be releasing them.
Catch and release?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gross.
They're gross. Alright, how many we got? Wicked Watch? 5. I thought there was actually a roll command for non-standard dice, but I guess there's not. I'll use 10, because that's the easiest way to do it. And Karth, where were you? Were you taking watch?
Yeah, I
Missed
suppose.
out on the watch.
He's
order.
awake. Taking watch apparently is
I'm not even sure if we're on a boat right now, but I'm watching.
I was just trying to make sure because I still have you marked as a 0 from the last on my watch order, and I missed what you said about where you would take watch. As in the 5. Rowan was first.
Either second or fourth, I suppose. I think all the other spots.
Are me and Fane's watch next to each other?
Yes.
Can't remember. Okay.
I'll have you go second, Karth. Okay, yeah, so the watch order's updated now. Rowan, Karth, TX, Fane, Morn.
Alright, as I go to get Fane for her watch, I'd be forcing a gold coin into her hand.
What?
Saying,
Alright, well, let's hold up a moment there, because...
okay. Ooh, we have a thing. There's a thing!
Oh, no.
There's a thing!
Bum,
Uh-oh.
bum, bum, bum.
So, TX, during your watch, how are you taking your watch?
I'd basically just be, lazily with my bait in the water, trolling,
So, since we're anchored right against the side of the river,
Oh, so not trolling.
during the night watches, that's probably not exactly the way that works, but yeah, so are you on the riverside? Or are you paying more attention to the riverside and fishing while you're docked?
Yeah, probably. Kind of, if ever I don't catch a fish for a few minutes, I'd, move my position along the boat.
What was your perception? Okay. You hear some scraping sounds coming from the other side of the boat.
So, the land side, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Short side.
Yeah. In this particular case, this would be starboard.
Okay.
Right side of the boat. When you start hearing the scraping sound, you hear a couple of thump, thump. You're on the side of the boat, up on top, up above where the quarters are. There's like another little small deck. That's where the 2 crew members are kind of watching. Go ahead and roll another perception check real quick. You see up there, even though you have that particular vision, you see 2 figures up there, like you're expected to see. As you kind of look behind you, you see a couple of metallic objects gripping the side of the rail behind you. What is your first inclination?
First inclination would be, what the hell are those things on the shore? On the ledge of the boat.
And
I'd be basically pinning my fishing rod against the chair or bench or something, and hand on my crossbow. Actually, not crossbow, probably dagger at this point.
Hey, since I'm not sleeping at night, would I hear this going on?
Go ahead and roll perception. It's going to be kind of hard to hear from down below through the kind of crazy stuff that, like all the stuff going on down there, but it's definitely possible to hear.
Okay.
Yeah, all of the everyone's laughing and carrying on and playing cards and stuff like that, so it's more of a inside of a tavern jovial atmosphere down here. Just kind of muffles through the wood, through everything else, what's going on in the immediate. Yeah, so you don't hear anything down at the bottom. Okay. Alright, so you're going to kind of ready yourself. Now, in the very middle of the boat is the stairs that go down towards the lower decks. In the back is towards the rooms. I know Fane's in the lower deck. Was there anybody else that was staying down there, or was everyone else in the rooms?
I'd have been in the rooms.
Rooms. Morn?
Yeah, rooms.
Karth is in the rooms. Morn, would you be down with the crew, or would you be in your room? Wolfen,
Yes, sorry.
would you be down with the crew or in your room?
I'd be in my room if it's nighttime.
Okay. Alright, just so I kind of know where everybody's at.
Yeah, I'm pulling my guard shift early or just pulling my own personal because we're not really on shift, I guess, right?
Yeah,
So-
we're on shifts. You've got left.
Oh, yeah.
We're still keeping an eye out. Alright, everyone go ahead and roll initiative, and then we'll see how, if anyone actually is ever aware of anything.
Drad, you can probably wipe off the bear's endurance. I'm guessing it didn't last this long.
Right.
Gotcha. And your exhaustion level's gone.
And so I'll get rid of my temporary.
Okay, so we're gonna do this little theater of the mind kind of aspect. You're up.
Okay, so I can't see any things going on right now.
Yeah,
Just that there's
you see two guys
metallic objects on the side.
Yeah, you see two guys up top, and you see a couple of metallic objects, and you heard scraping along the bank on the other side over there. As you kind of take a moment to look, you can see that those are probably grappling hooks of some sort attached to the railing.
Would I have, did I know that they weren't there before? Like, that's now out of the ordinary? Didn't see
Yes.
those before?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to cast Minor Illusion in the direction of those two guys up top. And I want it to be a sound.
So as far as you know, the two guys up top are that's where the crew was. That's where the two crew members on
Yep.
guard were. Okay. Yep. Okay, just making sure.
So yeah, I want it to be a sound that says, "Hey, there's grappling hooks on the side of the boat." I want it to be an audible scream.
Audible scream.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's just going to repeat itself for the duration.
And how long is the duration? Is it concentration?
1 minute, not concentration.
Okay. An audible scream.
Yep, it can go from a whisper to a scream from 30 feet towards those guys. So however, if
Okay.
they're longer than 30 feet, then 30 feet towards them.
All right, everyone. in the rooms, roll perception, and feign roll perception with disadvantage.
Is it?
Rowan, you hear something that sounds like a scream coming from above you. No one else hears anything.
Can I act, or I have to wait for my turn?
You still have to wait for your turn.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess. Oh, there's things.
You still don't see them.
Yeah.
I just made them on the camera tracker, so we
Yeah.
can interact we can.
I'm going to. Okay. Let me visualize the boat in my head. Is there? You say the stairs down the middle.
Correct. It's behind the main mast. So, like, there's a slightly, maybe a 1 foot raised platform holding the structure that holds the main mast, and then that structure continues out, and then there's stairs that move towards the main, like, down and towards the main mast. So, like, if you were coming up the stairs, you would walk right into the hallway after, another 20 feet in the hallway that leads back towards the rooms.
Okay, so I'm looking for somewhere to hide. So like move, cunning action, hide type thing.
Okay. Like I said, the main mast itself's pretty big. It's, even though it is a river ship, and it's not a huge sail, not like a big 3-tiered sail like on a frigate or something like that. It is just a single sail, but that is bigger, like slightly bigger, is big around as like a telephone pole. Something maybe a little bit, maybe a tiny bit bigger than your average telephone pole.
I can do with that.
And then
Let's do
there's
that.
also that one that like about a 1 foot lip, up to that area covering the main mast over the stairs and everything. So.
Yeah, I'll use the mast.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Morn has not heard anything. Alright, let's see how we're gonna do this.
Do you want to use the marching formation thing? That screen?
No, we'll still just kind of use
Okay.
the generic. Well, I mean, yeah, that's actually fine. Let's move that over here in the middle. Just some basics.
Yep.
What you see is across the way, coming up from the grappling hooks, four dudes that have scarves wrapped around their face, and they got hoods up, and these four dudes jump out onto up from the grappling hooks, jump up over the rail. All four of them look up towards where the crew members were up above the top, and then quickly start darting towards the door. So I'm only going to do crude stuff here. It's not going to be any exact distances or anything like that. Alright, Fane's down below, playing cards.
What part of his shift was this happening now?
On the deck, top level.
Oh, no. What part of the ship or during his shift?
Shift.
Yeah,
Part
during
of his shift.
This had been smack in the middle.
Okay.
So this would be approximately 45 minutes before your shift.
I just want to make sure it wasn't near the end, so I wouldn't be coming.
One of these open here. From up above, coming down from the ladder that reaches up over that extends up over where all the cabins are, up onto that upper deck. It's just a ladder that comes down. You see one of the dudes come down from the ladder up above, and as he starts coming down the ladder, you can see that he's got one of these hoods up. He's not one of the crew members at all. Similarly, another bandit from up above climbs down the ladder, joining that other, the first bandit. None so far seem to be aware that you are there. Alright, Rowan, it is your turn.
What are these rooms like? Are we all in the same space, or am I gonna have to go out into a little hallway or something?
It's a little hallway. For the actual passenger cabins, each one's its own little bitty crunched up cabin with just like a little dresser and a bed and nothing else, like no space for anything else.
Okay, I'm gonna go out into the hallway and thump as hard as I can on the wall and say, "Everybody up! Something's wrong!" Did I hear what the scream said, or was it just I just heard screaming?
Heard the scream. You just heard the scream, not the actual audible. Not actually the words itself. You just heard the shrill screaming sound from above.
Okay, so
The shrill, manly scream, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that. When you step out of the hallway and you start coming down, when you start coming down the hallway, knocking on the doors and start yelling out loud, make a perception check. And yeah, and then Karth, and then Morn, and okay, I guess that's it. There's only other people up top. Yeah. Morn, you also roll a perception check to see if you hear what. Rowan, you see, as soon as you step out and then you start yelling and running towards the hallway, you see at the very end of this hallway several hooded dudes at the end of the hallway, two of which are wielding crossbows that are going to fire immediately in your direction.
I cast Barkskin on myself.
This would be
Or can
their reactive.
Oh, surprise!
thing.
Okay.
They're not surprise so much as is their held action. They moved into position and then they kind of readied themselves before they started moving forward into the thing. So this is their readied action for seeing anybody, essentially.
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
one crossbow bolt just whizzes right by, and the other clips the right part of your leg as you step up and start screaming, and then hitting this, and you see them, and just as you look and see them there, that's the two crossbow bolts are already in air, and one digs in, just cutting open your right quad just quite a bit, leaving a pretty terrible gash. Okay, now it's you can actually do your action.
Okay, I kind of go, ah! At the hit, and then I kind of look up at him and I go, oh, you're gonna regret that. And I cast Bark Skin on myself,
Okay.
and then I wild shape into a brown bear.
Okay, brown bear. Alright, so let's get
And
to
I'm-
the brown bear.
I'm gonna charge at him, but I can't do anything else. That's all my actions this turn.
Oh, another bee! Why did it have to be a bee?
Oh no!
Alright, we're not really using the thing for,
No, I'll just
for
use the
actually moving
combat
around
tracker.
in combat. Yeah.
Plus, I should be a green bee.
Let's go ahead and move you up to 22. And then, just so, since you were first in the order there.
Wait, you turned into a brown bear in a hallway?
Yep.
Yep. This hallway is just a little wider than 5 feet, thank goodness. As there's back to the big door for the captain's room, probably for him to be able to tote, whether it's furniture or who knows what. And so you're not technically squeezing, but it is tight. And that was your action. Oh,
Yes,
yeah, and I can't move you. You can't move yourself. I have to move you forward, right?
And make
Right.
her a green skull. She's currently red.
Oh yes.
There we go.
Friendly is important.
Friend bear.
And I don't know if this is a thing you can change on the sheet, maybe, but I have Bark Skin right now, so I should have 16 AC. Just in case that comes up.
Yep, I can do that manually. Or is there a thing for bark skin automatically, or is there a spell?
No,
check?
It's a weird effect that your AC can't go below 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can just manually change it there. Although I have to remember to set it back to 11, because that might actually edit the. It might not. I don't know. We'll look into that.
Okay. Yeah, I tried to make a spell effect for it before, and I couldn't.
Yeah, you can't. There's only adding and subtracting. There's no setting.
Yeah. Again, distances are not to scale or anything like that. We're just getting something to look at visually while we're doing most of the stuff in our heads here.
What's in your head?
Alright, 3 more of these bandits come up over from the grappling hooks, rushing out into the middle of the deck. They run over to the top of the stairs and prepare themselves like they're heading down to have... All of the bandits seem to be in leather armor and are wielding scimitars and have light crossbows. Some have the scimitars at the ready and some have the crossbows at the ready. As soon as Bandit 6 comes into position, he's going to turn and fire down the hallway at the bear. Just missing as you just kind of barely move your head off to the side as it whizzes right past your face. It's TX's turn.
Roughly how far are these bandits from me?
The ones at the top of the stairs, 15 feet. The ones over in front of the hallway door are another 20 feet past that, so 35 feet over to those.
Okay, I want to minor illusion another. How many of these can I have? Right.
Oh,
say
and
what
Morn,
I'm
you
gonna...
did hear, just for the record, I missed saying it, but you did in fact hear Rowan yell and call for aid. So you will be ready to act on your turn when it comes up. Yeah, sorry, what were you doing, TX?
Just trying to see. Okay, no, I was gonna do something cute, but you can only have one minor illusion active at a time. I'm just gonna try and remain hidden right now. I don't really have an indication that I'm, being joined by any substantive force right now. So I think the tactical thing to do would be to go hide like a little girl, a manly girl.
Okay. Alright, Morn, your room was opposite Rowan's, on the other side of the hallway. And you hear her scream for aid.
I guess we'll say my door is right there, and the fact that I will. Door opens inward, right?
In
Or
this
we're gonna
particular
say
case,
outward.
yes. This is counter to my normal fire code. These doors open inward.
Okay, thank God. I'd be hitting the bear with a door.
Yeah, so she is like taking up the majority of the hallway, directly in front of you, but like when you open the door. But it's something that you could definitely still get around her, underneath her, or somehow you could make it out to the other side.
Yeah. Now the bandits are outside the doorway, right?
They're
Is that what that
outside
gap is there?
the hallway, yeah. Remember the gap. None of that is to scale. It's just to have something to look at to see.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the clustering, just to kind of keep. There's so many of them, just to keep them in your mind, some basic positioning. But yeah, they're about 20 feet down the hallway.
Okay.
I did charge at them, so I should be like at them, I think.
Oh yeah, you did have her. Yeah, sorry, you're right. Yeah, she is right up in melee range of them. So yeah, she's not actually in the doorway. I forgot she'd said that. You'd charge at them, but she couldn't attack them. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, when you open the door, she's not actually right there in your way. She's down at the end of the hallway, and you can see her directly in front of all of these hooded figures. As far as that goes, yeah. Now, they are not in the hallway, they are out of the hallway. So there is a small amount of space. The bear has to actually step out of the hallway to be right in front of them. So there is definitely room to get around, to circle around them if you needed to or whatever.
Well, assuming Bandit 2 is catty-cornered from my doorway down the hallway to the entryway, I'm going to try and throw me a dagger or a dart at him. So...
Okay.
Now, is Bandit 2 behind cover?
No, he's
At
out.
all?
He's out in the open at the end of the hallway. He's not around, like around the edge or anything like that. He was sitting there, scimitar drawn, just fixed to start charging down the hallway when Rowan popped out and started running, and then the two guys behind him have crossbows that they just fired. And are in the process of reloading when you step.
Okay.
Up.
And I will duck around the doorway after I see my shot miss and just take cover there.
Okay, you're taking cover kind of back in your room, just
Yeah, like peeking around the doorway.
Okay. Okay.
And can I attack? Can I still ready?
No, you cannot.
Or is that a full action?
That's actually takes your action to ready the.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I will draw my spear. Or pick it up, whatever. I can still do that.
Yeah. And Bandit 5 is going to finish reloading his crossbow. And then he's going to take another fire at the bear. Come charging down the way. Kind of like a knee-jerk reaction. The bear charges down the way as he's like fidgeting with the reloading mechanism. Trying to get it all reloaded real quick. It's not a big heavy crossbow, so it's not like they take, extra contraptions to reload or anything. But you can see that he just kind of holds it, now he's shaking, and then he just kind of pulls it, bam, pulls the trigger, just clipping Rowan on the shoulder. But her bear form mostly shakes off a lot of the damage.
Do I have to roll concentrations for this?
For your bark skin? Yes. Concentration check. We have to do 2 of them to concentrate on the bark skin.
Is that just a straight one or a save?
Concentration is constitution. I think it's just a constitution check unless you have something else that adds to concentration. And all you have to do is roll greater than or equal to the damage dealt to maintain the spell. Yeah, and so you're holding on to the spell quite firmly. The second one's definitely more than he can do with damage. Let's see. Yeah, so the first one just barely kind of clipped your left shoulder. The right one sticks into to the side of your neck, just back right above where the shoulder actually connects to. And this one, as you kind of barely move, so the other one didn't hit you. That just made this one hit a lot more squarely, and you kind of howl with pain. This is really improbable.
These guys are mean.
This is very improbable.
Oh no.
Alright, one last final constitution check. And
Damn
with that, the spell fails. From the rapid amounts of damage you've taken in short succession, it's just so much pain that that is now the forefront of your thoughts instead of the spell itself.
I roar at them with just like foam dripping from my mouth.
All right, with all of this going on, and then the roaring and all of that faint perception. Now that they're prostrated right above the actual stairs, will no longer have disadvantage. Yeah, and with that, you hear the bear roar from above. As now you're ready to take action of some sort.
So I can run towards whatever sound I heard.
What's that, Lassie?
Yeah, so you guys are playing cards down below. You hear something, and you just put your cards down on the table and take off running out into the hallway. And as you do, as you look up, you see a couple of hooded figures up at the top of the stairs leading up to the deck.
Can I rush at them with my daggers?
Sure can. It'd be just within the maximum range of the crew little area where all the darts and cards take place is just at the bottom of the stairs. You know, just a couple of feet up for where the actual door would be. Although there is no actual door there, it's just kind of open. And then you look up, and there is another 20 feet by the time you make it up the stairs and the ramp, and you could definitely reach them.
Okay. So can I run at them with, because I have 2 daggers, one in each hand, to try to impale them or whatnot.
Mm-hmm, sure could.
So do I roll for both of those then?
Yeah, so what you'll have to do is you'll do your main hand attack, and your main hand will have, if it hits, it'll do the damage plus your actual damage modifier for dex for damage. But for the other one, it doesn't get the dex. As you're off when you're dual wielding, the offhand attack does not get your primary stat to damage like the main hand one does.
Okay. So just roll for 1 dagger then for now?
Yeah, roll the first one, see what happens, and then roll the next one. Okay.
Aye.
Unfortunately, you do not meet the conditions for sneak attack, but you do have the come up and just take your dagger and shove it right under the rib cage, piercing a lung. How much damage does it do? Wait, did that not? That did not double the damage. It didn't double the damage die.
Roll another d4.
Yeah, just roll 1 additional d4.
Like that?
Oh, because you didn't drag it onto. Yeah, you didn't actually. You just rolled it, but you didn't roll it onto anyone. That's why it didn't double it.
Okay.
Yeah. So which one did you hit?
It was the one right here, Bandit 9.
9.
Yeah, the one in front of me.
Yeah. So you jab him up under the rib with your first dagger, and then you can hear some of the oxygen escapes his lungs as he starts gasping, and you just pull the dagger out, and he's still standing, but now he's just gripping the side, and it's hurting. You can tell that he's hurt quite a bit. And now you can roll with your offhand, but make sure you're rolling onto bandit number 9.
Now these are not labeled main hand and offhand because I just pulled them out. I don't have daggers. This is main hand or offhand. Does that matter?
The attack doesn't matter.
The attack doesn't, only the damage does. Yep. So you come up and stab him right on the ribs with the other, and then follow just half a second later. You slam that the other dagger directly into his side. So this one will not get the stat on it.
If you click the +2 and the -5, that will be the same thing.
Yeah, because your stat is currently a +3. Yeah, so if you just make your modifier, if you just type in -3 and then roll the damage over, it'll work.
Or that too.
How do what?
In the bottom left down there where it says modifier, if you
Yeah.
roll the damage as it is, it's going to add your dex. So we need to counteract that by, since you don't have one set up, we need to counteract that by typing in -3, so the +3 and the -3 counteract.
Gotcha. So now I can roll.
Yeah, and then roll the damage over it. Yeah, and with that second one, the last little bit
Nice.
of air in his lungs dissipates, and then it just kind of crumples forward as you pull both your daggers out. He just slumps down to his knees and then falls over on his side. Alright, seeing his compatriot fall down, one of the other bandits rushes over with his scimitar, taking his place. Oh, wait a second here. Tries to wildly slash at you as you just kind of take a step back onto the step below, and then the blade slashes just over your head, doing no damage, just missing. All right, Karth, with all the commotion now, you have advantage on your perception roll to see if you hear what's going on.
Do I have to type that in the modifier?
No, you just hit the advantage button on the bottom left.
Yeah, the ADV button means that you have advantage in a roll 2 and take the highest. And once you click that, then just click your perception check, and then it'll do it. Yeah, you hear the commotion outside of your room now. The roar of the bear particularly brings you to some form of attention and can now act.
What do I see outside my door?
As you kind of peek your head in the hallway, at the very end of the hallway, you just see big bear butt. And on the other side of that, you see these these hooded figures standing in front of the bear, who is definitely groaning and wheezing a little from the pain as you see a crossbow bolt sticking out of his shoulder.
How many bandits do I see in front of the bear?
There's two directly in front of it, but you can see several behind it, a few feet behind, and then there's a couple more you can barely just see on the outside beyond that. So like within a few feet of the bear, there's like 4 kind of clustered right there, and then another 20 feet behind those is another cluster of 3 that you can see, and that's about all that you can see in your current line of sight.
Okay. Scorching Ray.
Okay. And you get 2 rays?
It is 30,
3 rays?
I think. Yeah, 30.
Okay, that's right, and each one has its own attack roll. Okay, and you get to kind of choose, just like with Magic Missile, except for you do have to roll for the attack. First fire just streaks over, just trying to avoid the bear. You just managed to miss a little. The second one, you now found your mark directly on.
Nice.
that is a world of pain.
In rapid succession, the streak of fire just arcs over the bear, striking the bandit directly in the chest. Boom, boom! And then as it does, the fire catches the leather, and it all begins to char as it becomes engulfed in flames. As it starts rolling, the fire rolls over its body. Just from the dead impact, it looks like almost looks like a long bolt. And as it hits, all of that volume of fire hits and spreads before it engulfs his whole body. As you hear a scream just start to come out of its mouth before it passes out from the pain and dies right there on the spot.
I want to use 2 sorcerer points. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta do something first.
Yes, wild magic. Yes. Okay. Yep. You definitely fueled on the powers within, and things went as expected.
2 sorcerer points
Okay.
on quicken spell,
Oh, okay.
and I would like to cast magic missile on the bandit too.
Now, there was something I was double checking on. On the quicken spell, the way it reads, does it make it a bonus action? Because there's something about if you have something that casts as a bonus action, it can't be. It pretty much has to be. Is it first or cantrip? But since I think quicken doesn't matter, I think you can just do.
I have it up if you want me to read it. It doesn't necessarily say cantrip, but it does. When you have a spell, the casting time of 1 action, you can spend 2 sorcery points to change the casting time to 1 bonus action for this casting.
Okay. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, let's go ahead and let that happen. I think that's actually okay. That makes sense as to the way it works, and I know that's how they play it on Critical Role when he fireballs several times. So let's just go with that until we find a reason for that not to be correct. It wouldn't make a lot of sense if it was much weaker than that, I think. Okay, yep. Magic Missile.
But is that all? That's 3, so I can do it twice, right? 2 more times?
You could do what 2 more times?
Magic missile, that's 3 hits. Does that count all 3 of my hits? Was that
Oh,
2 or did I roll it? Okay.
Each missile does 1d4 plus 1 damage. And then you can direct them as they come along.
Feeling very underwhelmed at that. Okay.
That's pretty close to minimum. That is unfortunate.
And I just kind of take cover kind of back in my room.
Okay. Yeah, so you walk out and you basically just engulf a person in flame and then just turn and then rapid fire some missile bolts that just pierce across its chest. Doom, doom, doom. Real fast, nearly knocking it unstable in its stance. And then duck quickly back behind the door there. Bandit 3 is gonna walk over and slash at Rowan, striking right across the forearm, making another deep cut into Rowan's bear-like form. And at this point, Rowan, you start feeling that your bear shape is in some kind of very critical condition, as you're feeling your breath is ragged and it's becoming difficult to move. 2 more bandits come from the side of the rail. And it is your turn, Rowan.
I'm gonna use my wild shape heal as my bonus action.
Your bear's dancing. Yeah.
And then basically just launch myself at Bandit 2.
Ooh, wow, that actually worked out pretty good. Okay. That's the one that was struck by the miss. Okay, yeah. And you leap out with your, is this your claw attack or your bite attack?
That was my claws.
Oh yeah, I missed. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. Yeah, so you swipe right across its chest, ripping it open, and you can see bits of bone break from just the power of your paw hitting it. In addition to the swipe of the claws, you feel like the chest kind of caves in as the eyes of that bandit just goes wide, and it falls down dead in front of you.
I get a multi-attack as a brown bear, so I just turn towards the next one,
Okay.
which is Bandit 3.
That's correct.
A little bit too wild.
Yeah, so as you rake across the other one, tearing open its chest and breaking, and you hear the bone crunching from around it, instinctively Bandit 3 just starts shuffling backwards. And as you turn to take a bite out of it, your teeth just clench, like right in front of it as it's shuffling backwards, just barely missing taking his whole head off.
And that's all the things I can do.
Okay. Bandit 8 is going to try another chance at redemption to try to avenge his fallen comrade next to him, taking another wild slash across at Fane, striking her along her arm.
Which arm?
This would be your left arm. You manage to pull away just a bit as it cuts a little bit on the side. But just mostly rather a scratch down the front of your forearm.
With what kind of weapon? I'm sorry.
Scimitar. Bandit number 6 is been in the process of reloading his crossbow, just manages to complete it, and is raising it to fire at you again. Being still that slightly, like one step down, you don't exactly have cover, but you can use that to your advantage still, and you kind of move off to the side. Just getting out of reach, and then it makes it TX.
Alright, I'm gonna use... Okay, so the 2 ones at the top of the screen are the ones that just came up?
Correct. 4 and
Okay.
7.
Alright, I'm gonna, would I be able to cast Hex and then smoke one of them with my crossbow?
Yeah.
Hex being bonused. Okay. see if I can do this right.
So that works like when you hit them, it adds the additional thing.
Yes, I think that worked this time.
Okay. We'll see.
Well, maybe we won't.
Can we agree that that necrotic arrow never hits anything?
So far, it's 0 for like 7 or something.
I believe that is correct. Yeah, so it's bonus action to cast your hex, and then.
Yep.
And you can do that. Does that actually use a spell slot, or is that a that's actually
Uses a spell slot, but it doesn't cost it anything to transfer it once something dies.
Right. Okay. Just trying to make sure that's right. You still have some bit of movement, so you kind of step
Yeah.
out, fire, and then step back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Morn, it would be your turn.
All right. So, just so I get the theater of the mind going here again. Bandit 3, front of the hallway, next to Bear. Are the stairs just a few feet from the doorway?
20,
Like about 10 feet or so?
20
20 feet from. Okay. And I'm down the hallway about 10 feet.
You're almost full 20 feet down the hall. Since you're one of the you and Rowan had the last rooms in front of the captains, so it's a full 20 feet.
Okay.
down. Yep.
Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna charge forward there with my spear and squeeze past the bear on the left side.
Okay.
If the barrel squish up against the wall, let me through.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll let you by.
Yep.
Alright, good bear.
And then you're gonna roll out and attack it with the spear. Kind of move out into the more open part of the deck, because she's already like one step, like out into the open area. So when you squeeze
Mhm.
past her, now you're into the open deck kind of area.
I'll get more dramatic if I hit him.
Okay. That was an unarmed strike,
And
but
yeah, it's the same. It's the same
Right.
roll
It's
for
the
all
same
my
attack
stuff.
roll.
So.
yeah, because that's
Yeah.
The spear is a monk weapon for you.
Mm-hmm. And
'Cause
I'm
it's
wielding it
just not
two-handed.
martial. Yeah. Because it's versatile. Okay.
Yes.
It's funny that the spear has always been, I think, a martial weapon. That it is not now is interesting.
Well, the spear used to be a simple weapon. It was the halberd that was the martial weapon. They kind of shared the same proficiency sometimes.
Oh, okay, maybe that's what it is. That did not add That did not add stuff to.
My +4. Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to look into why that didn't do that. It added your strength. You didn't tell it to turn it to dex because it's because your martial thing. 'Cause your
Yeah.
martial arts thing.
Yep. That should be a +4 to that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you come charging out with a spear, impaling it right in the chest. Its eyes go wide, and then as you pull the spear out of the chest, it's just kind of sitting there, mouth gaping, trying really hard to breathe. Is very ragged and still just barely standing. It's in very rough shape.
As I stare in his face while he dies, I get my. I
He did not
regain
die.
energy
You didn't
from.
die.
Oh, he didn't die. Damn it! Whoops. Damn it! Oh well. Then I will spend a key point to use my unarmed strikes. And then I stab him with my spear, and I'm going to kick off of him with my foot, like do a chest kick, and do a backflip and pull the spear out.
Okay.
Alright, now let's see damage here. Whammy.
Yeah, and so with that one, as you kick off of him, yanking that spear out, it just kind of, the momentum just pushes him back where he falls, almost just like a tree, very stiff at this point, landing, and when he's landing, he's no longer breathing and dead. Okay, so now you can apply the Touch of Death.
Yes. And then you said the other guys were another 20 feet, right?
Correct.
See. Who. Are they facing our direction, or are they facing towards
Oh,
Fame?
actually, no, not the stairs are 20 feet away. The next two people are wielding crossbows that are only like 5 feet behind those. The stairs are another 20 feet. That's the difference. So it's like another 5 feet up, and then the two guys with the crossbows are we're standing behind those guys.
Alright, so I'm gonna roll an attack here on Bandit 5 with my last unarmed strike.
Mhm.
And I'm going to, after I do my kick, backflip, pull the spear out, I'm going to dash forward and do I'm going to try an uppercut with my spear. But it's only applying the unarmed strike damage.
Okay. Yeah, so you rush forward and then do a large dragon uppercut. You see his head snap back, and then you hear some things pop, and then you just kind of, his head lolls around, and you kind of like, shh. You see me like staggered a little bit, but then he just kind of shakes it off. But he's kind of hunched a little and not holding that not the same combat stance that he was just before. He drops the crossbow onto the ground in the midst of the fray.
And then I'll take a few more steps here to the side and kind of get to the side of him to allow my big angry bear friend through.
Alright.
For some fixins.
Yeah, since they both had crossbows, the other one will not get an attack of opportunity against you.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Damn, whoops, I almost made a boo-boo. Woohoo!
Well, since he doesn't have a melee weapon, he can't take the opportunity attack, so. Yep.
And that'd be the end of my turn.
Alright. As soon as Bandit 5 is able to kind of gather the wits about him again, he's going to draw his scimitar and just try to slash right across your side. You could feel that he makes connection, but by sheer force of will, it kind of glides over you, and what would have normally cut you, instead doesn't. As you feel some of your death touch strength subside. Bandit 10 is going to fire his light crossbow at the bear.
Oh yeah, I forgot if I stayed in melee with him, he would have had disadvantage, right?
And having already hit Rowan on the upper part of the shoulder, right at the base of the neck, this time tries to go right for the throat as Rowan's kind of howling in pain. Just the slight motion was just enough that it sticks in the actual chest part and not on her throat part, but it does do considerable damage as it tears into her. He's gonna drop his crossbow and pull out a scimitar and stand at the ready. Alright, it's Fane's turn.
Alright, I want to do the same thing I did last time, so one dagger and then the next.
Okay. Which one are you going after?
Bandit 1, the one in front of me.
Okay. And in a kind of a crisscross pattern, you manage to kind of stab at towards the chest of the bandit right in front of you, slashing down and away, and you manage to just catch into the leather, just barely clipping in as you start dragging through, and you can feel the tip of your dagger raking in on either side as you slash down, and then you pull them back in front of you at the ready.
I'm in the stairwell, is that right?
Correct. Yeah. You're like,
So I also want to holler down to the crew members below me.
okay.
That we need help. Or bandits or something.
Okay. At this point in time, you've heard no response.
Okay. They're a rowdy bunch, huh?
Must be. They got a 1 on their perception, so they might be a tad inebriated.
Celebrating their winnings, I'm sure.
Indeed.
They're looking at your cards.
She'll never know. The bandit in front of you, with a quick strike, counterattacks. After you raked it across the chest in that crisscross pattern, it's going to slice right across your midsection. Cuts deep into your armor, slash right across your belly. Alright, it's Karth's turn.
Okay, peek out my door again. How many bandits do I see in the hallway?
You can see 5. Now there are 2 that are just the tiniest bit in front of the bear, not like directly right next to, but back just a couple of steps, and then another 15 to 20 feet behind that, there's the cluster at the top of the stairs.
Something new. And I jump back under cover again.
Alright, yeah. So you charge up your Eldritch Energy, firing at bandit number 5 who had just been rattled.
They seem kind of staggering a little bit. And this one, and he seems to be kind of paying more attention to Morn off to the side, and just doesn't see it coming as it hits him square in the side of the head. And then just you can already with the slightly loosened neck, you just see it snap over to the side, breaking, and it just is a weird, real awkward angle as it just kind of crumples to the ground.
Stole my kill.
Okay, yes, sir.
It was intentional.
Let's mix this up a bit here. So Bandit 4 and 7 both charge simultaneously over with their scimitars slashing at the bear. And that was unexpected, but you know.
Still a bear.
Still a bear.
The first one, as you kind of rear up to roar as it approaches you really quickly, the first one's just and although it tries to slash at you, it just misses completely. The other takes the opportunity to cut you, but since you were kind of rearing back at the same time, it didn't really get very deep, just barely nicking you across the chest as you're rearing back. And while you reared back, it is your turn.
You
I was
said
gonna go
rear.
I was gonna go after Bandit 10, but then 7's right here, and he just hit me.
And then he brought a party.
With your weight as you fall forward back down onto essentially 3 legs as you swipe right across 7 with your claws as you land. Or is that a bite? Did you bite? You bit. No.
I clawed first and missed, and then I bit him.
Oh, I see what happened. I was like, wait a second. I see both. That's why I see both. Okay, yeah. So you as you come back down, you try to catch yourself a little bit, so your swipe is a little off balance as you land. But as you do, the force of your landing, you're able to impact that into a big bite right across the shoulder, piercing in right next to the both the shoulder joint and in between it and the neck, right in the middle, and you can feel your teeth sink in deep.
I'm gonna try and shake out a few of these crossbow bolts because I'm feeling a little bit like a pincushion right now.
Okay. Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty good.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
I
so
growl
you
at
kinda
him.
shake, and then a couple of the crossbow bolts with the movement of your muscles. You can feel the pain a little as you do, but that pain is soothing as they do come out, and then that magical energy envelops you, and those wounds begin to close some.
It's usually not good for someone when the bear you're fighting is actually Deadpool.
That's all I can do right now.
Okay.
Oh, that's it?
2 attacks and a heal. That's pretty good.
Oh, 4. You have 2 front claws and 2 back claws. I think you just should fall on top of him. Just lay on him.
Bandit 8 managed to get another pretty hearty slash on Fane as she's really trying to focus to dodge in and out of the attack and counter attack that's going on with the opponent in front of her, being harried off to the side. It's really hard to defend against both, as it then swipes across the upper part of your arm near the bicep, digging in across as a small trickle of blood starts to pool down towards your elbow.
This on my left arm.
This is also on your left arm. Yeah. Minute 6 is going to finish loading his crossbow and spin, firing it at Morn.
Does 6 have disadvantage because he's on top of the other two, or is that just representation of where they are?
It's just representation. Yeah, he's not squeezed.
Okay.
He's not actually squeezed in there. He's just sitting behind them.
Okay, just check. Fuck, this is gonna hurt. Douchebag.
Yeah. So he's gonna spin and fire, and you were looking ahead at those that were on the bear, and you didn't catch it just the glimpse in time. Actually,
I could have rolled deflect missile, but yeah.
yep. So yeah, we'll have to remember to do that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm not using my reaction.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that to deflect, if that's what you want to do. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not actually gonna work. It's not actually gonna work because the damage has already been applied. So you'll have to actually just roll your.
Oh, okay. See, it's 1d10. Oh, I gotta look at it real quick.
$1d10 Dex Monk level. So.
So 1d10 plus 4 plus 4.
Yeah.
1d10 plus 8.
Yep. Go ahead and roll that. Roll 1d2. Okay, that's not right. Try again. Without the +5 and the +8. Let's do 1d10 plus 8.
I told it just to plus 8.
Oh, you had the +5 checked.
Oh, did I? I thought I unchecked it. There we go.
Okay. Yep. So you're actually able to.
That completely mitigates 14 damage.
Yep. So you're
So I
able
actually
to completely mitigate the entirety of that. So you can use
Return missile.
return missile. Yep.
If I choose to, I want to make sure I don't do anything. I cannot return the missile. My hands are full.
Yeah, you got 2 hands. Okay. Yep.
Yep, we got 2 hands on the spear.
So you're able to knock it out of the way.
Haha! Thanks for remembering that.
Okay. He's going to drop his crossbow
and draw his scimitar. And charge towards you. And then it's TX's turn.
Can I get to Bandit 4?
Yeah, he's still out in the open.
Alright, I'm gonna go after him with my daggers. Screw this crossbow business.
I hope you don't have the necrotic put on anything.
I'm gonna try and go right behind him. Do the whole business since he's engaged with the bear.
Okay.
Bueno, okay, bueno.
Your dagger.
Oh, I didn't roll it on him.
It still just misses.
I was hoping to get an advantage on that.
Advantage for the. Oh yeah, go ahead. Roll it one more time. And
Let's roll another one.
Yeah, that's right. Because we're doing the modified flanking rules. Yep, and
Okay.
it just misses.
Okay, I'm gonna use my other daggers.
Okay. There we go. Yeah.
Okay, and for a world of pain.
So now we're only like 0 for 8 before we actually get a world of pain. Alright, let's see if it works. Yep, you apply for sneak attack both for the advantage as well as the opponent melee. And let's see if the necrotic thing works.
I just have to turn the dex off, my damn it.
Yeah, dex off. Yep. Didn't work. Or something didn't work.
No, it did do 1d4 equals
Did
2.
the 1d6 necrotic, but it did not do the sneak attack.
Sneak attack. Okay, well, I'll just add a 1d6 to that.
Oh, you rolled it. You didn't actually apply it to yourself. Look at the TX. Look at the effect for TX. Damage 1d6 self roll. You rolled it for 1. You didn't actually drag it to yourself to apply it.
Okay, well, there's the 5 for the sneak.
Yeah. So the first one whiffs. The second one you just jam right into the kidney, and you can just see his back arch. In intense pain. He's unable to let out a scream as he tenses up and then just collapses, dead in front of you.
Oh, sweet. Dead? Nice.
Huzzah!
Bleh. Ah, I thought that was supposed to fucking...
You just rolled it. You didn't apply it to yourself.
Yeah, it says self, so I shouldn't have to apply it. Oh, whatever. I wonder why that isn't working.
Mine work without applying to myself like that.
Weird. Normally I don't have to click that. Okay.
So
Yeah.
is actually dead?
Yes.
Oh, did I remove the wrong one? I removed the wrong one. What the hell?
Confusions. I mean, Fane's okay with this.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay.
Okay.
So we're just
So we'll
swapping
see.
which is which.
Yes.
This one just went, so his initiative would have been.
Should be another in between.
There we go.
No, I have.
I fixed it.
Bandit 6 moves up to me.
Yep, all is good.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna try and kill Bandit 6 here. Whammo!
Is this with a spear?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna use a nice point, another key point. Oh, okay. I stab him, grazing him on the side, I'd say, and then I go to follow through the second stab or follow up like sweeping kick and miss, and now I'm gonna try to backhand him.
Okay. Yeah, pimp slap pretty strong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that last one, you stabbed him and then did a sweep kick and then used the momentum of the sweep to come up with a back fist right across the side of the temple, and you just see his eyes roll back into his head as he falls dead.
And that procs my touch of death.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo!
And you still have your movement.
Yep. And I'm gonna come up behind this guy right here.
Directly behind him, or
Yeah, directly behind him. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, yeah.
I'm coming, Fane. Coming to the rescue. I didn't get to kill as many bandits that turn as I wanted to, but
Bandit,
I fucking
Bandit 10 is going to run over behind, pincering you in between him and the guy that's attacking Fane.
Does that proc attack of opportunity from the bear?
No, because he was actually a step away before. He wasn't actually up
Okay.
next to her. He was using the crossbow, which he drops on his trip over and picks up the scimitar.
Okay. I was just double checking.
Yep, but he swipes.
I trust your judgment.
He swipes at you, but you easily kind of dodge out of the way, since the other one is more occupied. It really is not as harrying of an effect on a seasoned fighter like yourself. Makes it faint.
Say that again.
Alright, I drop my dagger in my main hand and pull out my rapier as my movement,
Okay.
and then attack with that to this one right in front of me.
Okay, so which is now called Bandit 4, it's really the same bandit. And you would gain advantage on that attack because you're pincered in between. It is pincered between you and Morn, giving you that direct opposite advantage for flanking. Yeah, now you also have sneak attack because not only the advantage, but because he's right, your ally's right there.
I forgot what that means. It's been a while since we beat some things up.
Yeah, you have your sneak attack effect. You have to add. You have to drag it over to yourself, and it'll apply the buff on the combat yourself on the combat tracker. That's not applying the buff. You might have to.
It should just be a click for her.
Let me see what we did. You have to open. I bet you have to open it up. Hit the magnifying glass. That's what it is. On the far right side, hit the magnifying glass, and then you see the effect there. There we go.
So then I can do my damage to 4.
That's correct.
Wow.
Maxed out on the sneak damage.
Pull out your rapier and just right into the throat, and you can see the blood start to trickle around your blade as it starts pulling down, traveling down the blade itself. You pull it out and just give it a little swipe as the blood splatters across the stairs, and he just sits there gargling for a second, and then just falls down dead.
Alright, and then I still have my bonus action, correct?
That is correct.
All right, so then I'm going to use my Master of Tactics and yell at Morn to get the next guy.
Which guy is the next guy? 8 or 10?
I would assume 8.
This is the one
So
that's
he has
hit you a
advantage
couple
when he
times?
attacks.
Okay. Okay.
So if I attack it, I have advantage now?
That's correct.
Yeah.
You would have
Okay.
advantage on attacks against Bandit 8 for your next turn.
Okay.
Assuming things progress to that.
Yes.
Alright, Karth.
Okay. Hop back out again.
So Bandit 7 is around the side out of on the other side of the bear, outside of the hallway, so it would be completely out of cover for you, but you can see either 8 or 10 both out of the length of the hallway as it is. From your current vantage point anyway, like from just kind of peeking around and seeing what's going on.
And a magic missile on Bandit 10.
Okay. Need new D4s. Oh, there we go.
Throw those dice out. They're filed down.
Uh-oh. Oh, I thought that was a 1-7. That was my wild magic thing.
Oh, yeah. If it was 1, we could have fun times. I've not yet been able to have wild magic fun times, so unfortunately.
While we're on a boat.
I do my usual and I duck back into my room.
On a boat in our flippy floppies.
You know, anyone we kill here is just going to be TX's prey when we get to a village, right? I killed them all. You must have 0 AC on that bear.
Without,
I'm 11.
without bark
An
skin,
attack
it's
of
pretty
20
low.
is going to hit a lot of things.
You are a walking aggro machine.
Pretty much. It was better before my bark skin wore off.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got lucky on a couple good hits. What with the bark skin on, which really sucked, but it's just the way it works sometimes.
Yeah.
Alright, it's your turn. Bandit 7 just took another swipe out of your arm there.
I'm taking another combat heal.
Okay.
That's just level 1 though.
Oh, little baby heal.
It's a teeny one. Do I have enough room I could circle around the opposite side of TX on this guy?
No, you definitely can't
Like for
squeeze in
flanking?
there because he's kind of up
Okay.
against the ladder that goes upward there, so you wouldn't be able to get like directly opposite of him from this point.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna attack him anyway.
Yeah.
I hate this guy.
Yeah, you take a wild bite, just clamping onto his forearm as he's trying to pull it away. You just manage his front of your teeth just barely catching onto it, sinking in. And with that, you just get that bite, and you just hate this guy so much, and you just rip, and then you just rip his arm out of his socket. Just start moving it back and forth. And drop it onto the ground in front of you.
And I'm gonna use my movement to run over to Bandit 10, roaring on my way there.
Okay, yeah.
I use my claw attack on him.
Okay. This would have advantage because of the positioning.
Oh, too bad for him.
He's only got 1 hit point.
been trying to get to him since like the beginning, so.
No kill like overkill.
Yeah, I mean, you just rake right across him, like literally cutting him in half with your claws. As you sweep right across the belly, you just feel like it's just soft, and even when you get to the vertebrae, like you can just hear it snap as you just power through with your claws, just cutting it all in half, and it just falls down 2 pieces, alien style, like the robot from the android from Aliens, crawling around. Just see the spine, and then it just dies.
Karth would like to yell out, "Try to save one for questioning."
I lock eyes with Bandit 8, and then that'll be the end of my turn.
Bandit 8 is just like just looking around, stunned, and you just see him kind of it just throws up all over the place. He's gonna take the disengage action, and he's gonna take off running and just jump off the edge of the boat. A special note, you do not hear a splash. You hear a thud.
Alright, I want to go over and look. What do I see?
You see the bandit leaped off, almost swan dive style, thinking he was safer doing so. Thuds directly into the bank. You just barely see him picking himself up. You see his arms twisted around sideways at a weird angle as he starts kind of hobbling, taking off running into the woods just a few feet.
Okay, I'm going to transfer my hex onto him.
Okay. So what does it take to do that? Bonus action to do that? Or is it
Yep.
just... It does? Yes?
Yep.
Okay.
Bonus. And let's fire my dagger.
Fire your dagger.
Well, yeah.
Let's see, what's the range on the dagger?
20, 60. Okay, so no crossbow.
Okay. You just drop both your daggers right here on the deck of the boat. Pull out your crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
Fire.
Oh, that is bullshit.
Oh, that's awesome.
It lands.
That's awesome.
The crossbow bolt you fire, and you can see that it cuts across its side, the side that's already got the twisted arm in a weird way, and then you see him clutching that spot on his side with his other arm across his body as he's just hobbling and trying to run as fast as he can off into the wood.
Alright. Nuts to this. I'm also going to jump off.
Okay, it's a pretty good land. Acrobatics, that'll definitely reduce the fall damage you take from 2d6 to 1d6. So you take 1 point of fall damage as you land and hit the side.
Alright. I'm going to go after him with my offhand dagger. Screw this guy.
You
What?
won't be able to do 2 bonus actions this turn.
Oh, yeah, right. I already did bonus. Alright. Alright, I'm just going after him.
Okay. You can't quite catch up to him from your vantage point over the railing, and then you're about 10 feet behind him as he takes off running.
Okay.
Could I catch him from this distance?
I don't know. Can you?
40 feet? Yeah, I think I could actually.
Let's see. It's from your spot over to the edge of the railing is almost 20 feet in itself. Then
And he's
leaping
about
over and
20 feet.
landing. And depending on how you land, I mean, no, it's possible. You can get close.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna try and catch him.
All right.
Roll my acrobatics.
Yeah. So you kind of leaping off the edge of the boat, landing. The acrobatics roll is sufficient to save 1d6 of your fall damage. So let's see. Roll.
Tell me what damage is. I have slow fall now, so.
Oh, you do. That's right. Okay. So what does that? How does that work? That might change things entirely.
Reduced falling damage taken by amount equal to 5 times your monk level.
5 times your monk level?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Damage you take by an amount equal.
Yeah, then you will not take any fall damage, and you will actually be able to land solidly, meaning that you don't lose any movement from having to catch yourself or pick yourself up. Yeah, so you could just barely make it to him this round.
And I will try to stab him in the back with my spear.
Okay. Yeah, sort of square in the middle of the back. You still haven't fixed
Ah, damn it.
spear, but the...
Did he?
Add 4.
Yeah, so you stab him right in the middle of the back, and then you can feel that puncture right into an actual vertebrae, and you can see him spasm just a little bit as he falls forward dead.
And then I look back at TX and smile, because I didn't take any damage.
I'm gonna look at him with a scowl because he killed the last dude we're trying to question.
Says the guy that was.
Lucky you would have killed him. If he didn't roll double ones, he would be dead.
Yeah, and the guy going after him with the dagger.
Critically injured him.
It's
No, he-
precision strike. I see.
I think he critically injured himself.
I didn't take any damage.
I mean,
Yeah, you took 1 point of fall damage.
I took 1.0 of my temporary.
Yep. And with that, that was the last of the bandits. So now is a perfect time for intermission.